Coming to screens near you, BBC Sport, in association with Wimbledon, proudly present a premier tennis blockbuster. Can Tiny Tim be transformed into Tiger Tim and slay the giant Goron? Can he tame the wild card beast? Or will it be Goron, 2001, an Ace Odyssey? It's Tim versus Goron, the final countdown. Don't miss it.
Time, ready for play.
That's it, she's done it.
First set, Miss Williams.
Welcome to Wimbledon on men's semi-finals day. Tim Henman will carry the hopes and support of the nation later this afternoon when he walks onto the most famous court of all, trying to take one step closer to the Wimbledon crown. Well, already today, Tim Henman has been out practicing, just a quick 20-minute loosener, nothing more. He signed a few autographs and then made a quick exit. Had a quick good luck message from one young fan before he headed up towards centre court and the famous clock here at Wimbledon. It's amazing that people aren't noticing as they're just strolling past the British #1. But there he goes. Now, he thought that he had signed all his autographs, but there was one fan who was absolutely determined to get Tim Henman's autograph. She came the shortcut. You see, Tim's moving pretty quickly, but not as quickly as this young lady that's about to come into shot. You keep an eye out for her. British Athletics will be signing her up. There she goes. Come on, Tim. Go on, sign it. Yes, and of course he does. A quick autograph before he makes his way into the peace and quiet of the locker room and hopefully enjoy the build-up to the big match. So Tim's on his way in, and meanwhile Goran Ivanisevic, he's been out on the Arangi Park practice courts today. Again, just a loosener here, and no doubt he'll be trying to loosen up that big lefty serve, as he'll be hoping to pull down some big aces today. Already 150 in the championships. I wonder how many will go past him today. So Ivanisevic and Henman preparing for the big match later this afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, it's been described as Henman's date with destiny, a chance to make history. One thing's for sure, it's the biggest match of his career so far. Joining me in the studio is John Lloyd and Chris Bailey, who know all about the pressure of playing in front of the British fans, but I don't think any of us could have experienced what Tim has gone through already in the championships and what he'll feel today.
No, I think that's absolutely right, but he's done it before. I mean, he's had 2 occasions where he's been in the semi-finals, and I don't think he got tight in those occasions. He just came up against Pete Sampras. So to me...
But that is the difference. That always there was Sampras there,
right.
And it was a case of, oh, well, you know, you don't have a chance because no one's going to beat Pete on grass. But
That's
all
right.
of a sudden he's playing a player he's beaten 4 times.
That's right.
And he's expected to win.
Yes, but I don't think he'll think that way. I mean, I don't... the pressure, he loves playing in front of the centre court crowd at Wimbledon. I don't think it will matter to him. Believe me, he's much prefer to play Goran in the semi-finals than Sampras, I'll tell you that right now. So, I mean, I think he's a happy camper today. Of course he's going to be nervous, but he should be. But I think he'll get rid of it pretty quickly.
And Chris, you know what it's like to play Goran. I mean, hate to bring up that time when you had match point against him.
Thank you.
But he's tough to play. I mean, talk about how the rhythm that you can get from a match with him, or the lack of rhythm.
You don't get any rhythm against Goran. That's going to be the problem. I think, you know, people have talked about it's going to be essential that Tim returns the Ivanisevic serve well today. I actually think when you play Goran, it's more essential that you focus in on holding your own service games, so that when you get to the 4-alls and the 5-alls and you get your opportunity, because Goran does give you opportunities. He does throw in a couple of dodgy service games in a match, 2 or 3, and you've got to be at the 4-all or the 5-all stage to take those opportunities. If you get too wound up in the aces flying by, you carry that into your own service games, and then you play a bad service game yourself, and then you have even more pressure to break Goran just to get back on level terms. So for Tim, he's got to really focus on holding his own serve today and take those opportunities when they arise, because they will arise. Rosecki had them, wasn't good enough. I think Henman is.
But the chances, I mean, of listening to David Felgate talk, Tim's got to try and just block the return, which he does so well.
Well, he likes that, though. I mean, you could see that at Queen's when he did that with Wayne Arthurs. I mean, he's good at that. And I think what Chris said was absolutely right. But I think one of the most important things is mentally, he has got to expect that there's going to be a bombardment of aces coming at him. And Greg, I think, you could see early on when he handed the racket to the ball boy, he was almost saying, well, I can't handle this serve. Well, it's going to happen like that, and Tim's just got to basically accept there's going to be 30, 40 aces and know, as Chris said, there will be one chance here and there, and he's just got to be ready and fired up to take it. If he gets down, he's not going to win. It's as simple as that.
Can he win it? Will he win it?
Oh, I think definitely. Yeah, definitely. Goran, there is a service pattern to where Goran serves. He likes to serve a lot down the middle. I think Tim will know that. He'll serve quite a bit out wide. Tim's backhand is his strength on the return. He has a good blocked backhand. He'll make it awkward for Goran. But, you know, we talk, it's a great opportunity for Tim. It's a great opportunity for the three other guys as well, not just him. And they'll all be looking at this saying, Sampras is not around anymore. This is my opportunity.
And this is going to be a Wimbledon like no other day, I don't think. It's going to be so special all around the grounds.
Unbelievable. And that atmosphere when Tim goes out there and plays is going to be extraordinary. I can't wait for the match to start.
Yeah, and he's got to use the crowd, hasn't he?
Oh, yes. Well, he's done that. You could see the way he pumped up the crowd before, got his fist shaking. He wants them to get involved. Goran knows it's coming at him, mind you, of course. But, yeah, I think he can use to the crowd to his advantage. I get the feeling somehow Tim will find a way to win. It may be ugly. It's not going to be a purist match. Who cares? I think somehow he's going to find a way to win.
Yes, it's just the result. John, Chris, thank you very much. So we are heading out to centre court now because the first semi-final is already underway. And what a treat. It's Pat Rafter against Andre Agassi. And you can see it's evenly poised there. Agassi's taken the opening set, but Rafter is 4-1 up in the second. Let's join Pat Cash and John Barrett on centre.
Game Agassi.
Well, Agassi digging in now.
Rafter leads 4-2, second sets.
And something that Rafter was not able to do in the first set. He went down 2 breaks. Agassi's kept it to 1, so this second set still very much alive. Rafter with the familiar war paint on. Sorry, mate. Well, that's a cry we hear a lot. Tell you what, he's very fit, Agassi, and that's one of the great things about him. Since he had that blip in his career when he went down to the 140s, he got himself really fit again.
Let's for serve. love. Wait, please. love.
Well, he's getting accurate with those serves. That's his great strength. He's serving not the pace, but the accuracy. Well, that was an important return for Agassi because it's a second serve. What he wanted to say to Rafter was, if I get a second serve, I'm going to hit the ball back as hard as that one. Puts a bit more pressure on Rafter to get the first serve in.
Game Rafter. Rafter leads 5-2, second set. First set, Agassi.
And you make a good point there, Pat, because he's only getting in at the moment. Well, only 62% of his first serve, which is quite respectable. 64 now. But Agassi's serving even better than he is.
Well, anything that can go in the 60s is good serving, but for Rafter, traditionally, likes to be in the high 60s or 70s even. Agassi's looking at returns. He's not second serve returns of Agassi 94% in. You expect Rafter to be getting most of Agassi's serves back, but what's happening here? Agassi doesn't want to get his hair greasy. He doesn't want to get his hands greasy, I should say.
That's very sensible. Bill Norris there just applying the...
He'd have to go up and wash his hands because he uses both hands on the racket. Rafter on the other.
Time.
Just the sunscreen, and the sun is pretty piercing. It has been all week, and it's just been out for some first time today, actually, a little early, so very necessary precaution. And he was applying it to the bald scalp, which was rather fun to amuse everyone. Still overcast, broken cloud, and the odd glimpse of the sun. So all we want to be sure of is there won't be any more rain, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Oh, it's so good, this.
Well, that was a fantastic backhand down the line from Rafter, and Agassi got across there and able to produce that angle. Much like Pete Sampras does, that goes across court with that forehand. Across court.
30 love.
This is when the tactics of Agassi start coming through. Now he's been lobbing, if you remember, trying to get Rafter to stand back a little bit further.
Anything you can do.
Nice miss-hits or slight miss-hit.
30-15.
He'll take that. See, now the Rafter is a bit worried about the lob. He's standing a bit further away from the net, which leaves that fast cross-court passing shot open.
40-15. Game Agassi. New balls, please.
Well, very
Rafter
high.
leads 5-3, second sets.
Very high quality of play we're seeing from both men here.
I guess he'll go to change his racket. He'll go and get a racket that's strung the same tension, but what happens is the strings will loosen up over a few games. And to counter the fact that the new balls will come through the air a bit quicker. We're having a racket that's strung just a fraction tighter should nullify the speed off the balls. But this is going to be good news for Rafter, serving for a set all with new balls. And Rafter will like that. The ball should be zipped through just a little bit more.
Love 15.
It certainly did zip through a little bit more, forcing double fault number 4. If I'm correct, 3 of the 4 have been at the first point of the game.
15 all.